Amazon stock getting a nice bounce, up 4% today after dropping post-earnings last week on investor concerns that AWS, the cloud and AI unit, didn't grow as quickly as rivals in the quarter. Here in Seattle to unpack Amazon's AI strategy is VP Dave Brown, who runs compute and machine learning for AWS. Dave, thanks for having me here.
Well, John, thanks for coming. It's great to have you at AWS in Seattle.
Yeah, well, so Andy Jassy, on the earnings call, the CEO said that there's supply constraint. That's a big part of the issue there as growth continues. What's your role in clearing the bottleneck?
So I lead all of, as you said, the compute and machine learning services at AWS, with some of the networking services as well. So it's really making sure that we have the data centers, the power, the compute capacity available where and when our customers need it.
And energy is part of that as well. How much of this is just a bottleneck in build? How much of it is the challenge of actually keeping those systems cooled and running efficiently?
Well, John, we know that AI is going to change pretty much every application and the way of life around us as well. So, the demand for AI is just changing from a day-to-day basis. Just a few years ago when the story started, we started to see an increase in demand, but demand has continued to increase. And so as we've increased supply, whether that's power, whether it's other parts of the supply chain, to keep up with that demand, it's been a continued effort to ensure that we can continue to meet the demand that's out there.
And you've got a new offering this week. OpenAI, for the first time in this AI era, is going to be available, at least some of its models in part, on AWS. Big deal or no?
I think it is a big deal. Yesterday was very exciting for us. We brought OpenAI's open weight models to AWS. It's our Bedrock service. It's our service that serves many models to customers. We really believe in model choice. We want customers to come and find the best model for their needs. And having OpenAI and Bedrock, I think, is a very important step. It gives customers more choice. And having a look at the model, it's a very capable model and offered at a very low price as well. So I'm very excited to see over the coming days, and even this morning getting some early reads has been very interesting to see what customers do with it.
What determines whether AWS runs this better, right, than other platforms can? Because it is open source, it's openly available, but that means it's got to be secured. That means the chips that power it have to be cooled. What can you do to make AWS's business with OpenAI work better than others?
Well, John, there's actually a lot. Firstly is making sure we can run it in a way that improves utilization. So it gives customers the best deal out there. Another one is customers are always looking for stability and availability and the best service. There's nothing worse right now than an interruption to any sort of workload. And as AI becomes more and more important for customer workloads, anytime a service has problems, that's going to impact their business. And so AWS, over the last 19 years, has proven that we can deliver better than anybody else to our customers. And we've brought that experience to Bedrock as well. And one of the ones that maybe customers don't think about as much, or customers certainly do, but maybe investors don't, is security. In today's world, security is critically important. And as AWS, we always say security is our number one priority, and it really, really is. And Bedrock as a provider and AWS as a provider, we've really prioritized ensuring that customer data is protected in the cloud. And so with that model, we have no access to customer data that they may put into the model. We cannot see what the model may respond with. I mean, that's something we're just paranoid about as a customer, as a cloud provider, and customers really, really like that on AWS.
So I want to talk about Project Rainier. So it's either, I guess, like Cerebro or the Death Star, depending on who you're rooting for. But you're building this huge AI supercomputer based on your Trainium 2 chips, yes, I believe. So it's your silicon, and a big, arguably flagship customer running on this is Anthropic, OpenAI's yes, rival. Yes. You've invested quite a bit in. Am I right to view this as a really, really pivotal moment for the AWS business model and strategy? Because if you can demonstrate, in part through Claude and Anthropic's models, that it can run on your silicon and perform really, really well, that might convince others to do the same?
I think so. I think it is a pivotal moment, but I think there have been so many moments in the many years leading up to this. The first is that AWS will stop at nothing to innovate on behalf of our customers and give customers better performance at a lower price. And as we look at AI in the world today, one thing we know is for it to be used more, the price has to come down. And that's one of the big reasons why we started investing in own custom silicon. As you say, we have our Trainium 2 accelerator, which Anthropic has chosen for the training and inference of their new models. And so to do that, now we need a very, very large training cluster. You've heard about some of these in the news. We're building what is called Project Rainier, which is many hundreds of thousands of Trainium 2 accelerators spread across multiple data centers within the US. And at the time it goes live, it'll be the largest AI cluster supercomputer available on the market.